The birth of a newborn baby is a special occasion. This is where we automatically assume that we have 280 days to prepare for this occasion, where time is spent on contemplating if it'll be a boy or a girl, thinking of the name and adjusting the family and older siblings to the fact that a new baby brother or sister is on the way. And of course, let's not forget the actual preparations for the birth itself. Did you know that gaining a new member to the family is ranked as one of the most stressful life events? And that's even when all goes to plan. Now, parents of premature infants experience even greater amounts of strain while their infant is in the neonatal intensive care unit. This is perfectly normal when you take into account the anti-natural separation of a mother from a just-born baby who's been taken to an overlit, foreign environment surrounded by high-tech equipment. All of this physical separation and stress have both an effect on the parents and on the baby's behaviour. Here I want to tell you about a study done to determine the effects of a mother's singing on their preterm baby and how it helped them to bond with their child in the first couple of weeks of their life. This is where a mixture of 54 full-term infants and their mothers and 20 prematurely born infants and their mothers were randomly assigned to either experimental or controlled conditions. The principal idea of the study was to observe how the preterm mums managed to cope with being separated from their just born baby, and also on how long the baby would have to stay in the hospital. Both the full-term and the preterm mums in the experimental group were asked to record their voices, singing songs of their choice to be used at home. One of the main problems for these families is that it's not always possible to be at the hospital every day for obvious reasons. So when these mothers weren't able to visit their babies, the hospital staff used their recordings as a substitute. Once the infants from the experimental group were home for a couple of weeks, their mothers completed a post-test survey. These results of this study showed that the mothers of the preterm babies had found it hard to adjust to the babies and the situation, although it was also seen that these very mothers valued the fact that they felt that just the knowledge of knowing that their tiny baby could listen to their voice when they couldn't physically be there, it helped them to cope with the separation. As it turned out, the preterm infants who listened to the voices of their mothers left the hospital 2 full days earlier than those of the control group. Just goes to show how we humans, even the smallest ones, need some kind of human contact. Without a doubt, if physical contact is practically impossible, then all the more reason to use the power of the voice.